4 ways that famous people have discovered their purpose. Do you ever look at a celebrity and think about how they seem to have their entire life in order? Do you ever feel envious of just how up together they are, just how much they seem to have it all going on? This is normal. We all wish that we could achieve more, and often we look to celebrities as beacons of a sort. They are incredibly successful, famous, and usually well paid with it. But how did those celebrities get that way? They weren't born like it. Here are 4 awesome true stories of famous people who found their calling. Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone always wanted to be an actor, but was constantly turned down from roles due to his unusual slur and his unique looks. He was also a writer, however, and he was busy writing a script called Rocky at the same time. On a whim, he showed it to a producer who offered to buy it off him. Stallone turned him down, and only accepted to sell if he was able to play the lead role. The rest is history. Albert Einstein. Einstein was not highly successful as soon as he started out. He actually wrote a letter to his family in his younger years saying that perhaps it would be better if he wasn't here. He even considered becoming a door-to-door salesman at one point. Eventually, Einstein happened upon his special theory of relativity while working in a patent office. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie knew that he wanted to become a bodybuilder when he watched the likes of Reg Park starring in movies. He knew he had to get to America and had huge ambition, and he saw adding muscle as his ticket to get there. Eventually, he would go on to become a multimillionaire, the highest-paid actor in the world. Barack Obama. Barack Obama reportedly knew he wanted to be president of the U.S. ever since he was a little boy. As a child, he put this as his answer while writing a paper at school titled, "What I Want to Be When I Grow Up." Hopefully, he got a good grade. As you can see then, knowing what you want to be doesn't always come easy. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes a very unexpected route. And often, greatness seems to strike like a bolt from the blue. So if you don't know your calling just yet, don't give up. It might just come when you least expect it. 5 steps to finding meaning with your occupation. Unfortunately, most of us spend the vast majority of our days at work. You can make the argument that this isn't the case, but it's easy to refute. You spend 8 hours a day at work. That's 8 out of 24, sure. But you spend 8 of those hours asleep. That leaves you with 8 out of 16 hours, or 50% of your day. But then keep in mind you often work late, 9 hours, and that you probably commute an hour on either end, 11 hours. And then keep in mind that you also need to get ready for work, 12 hours. And you need to cook, pack lunch, get ready for bed. Now you're left with 3 to 4 hours at the end, at best. But you know what they say. If you find a job you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. Better yet, find a job you are truly passionate about. Problem is, many of us are stuck working 9-to-5 data entry jobs, or telesales, or just generally having our souls crushed by doing things we hate. So how do you find meaning in your work? Here are 5 ways. 1. Climb to the top. One option is just to try and get to the top of whatever field you're in. That creates a clear objective and goal and gives you motivation to keep on driving forward. 2. Evolve your role. If your job is mind-numbing, but there are elements you like, then try to evolve that role to do more of what you love and less of what you don't. 3. Springboard. Springboarding means that you use your success in one area to drive success in others. So maybe you use your CV to land the job you really want. 4. Eye on the prize. Remember why it is you're doing this. Maybe it's to fund travel. Maybe it's to buy a beautiful house. Or maybe it's because you want the best salary. 5. Do your very best. No matter what your job, always give it your best. Always put in 100%. Because even if your job seems mundane, it is important. You doing a good or bad job can make or ruin someone's day. And if you keep doing your very best, you'll have far more job satisfaction, and you will get noticed and make your way up the ladder. 5 ways to create more meaning in your life. When life lacks meaning, it can feel somewhat gray. When nothing we do seems to have any importance or a big impact, it can feel as though we're just going along for the ride, as though we aren't steering the ship ourselves. This is a bad way to feel, and it's something that will prevent you from achieving everything that you can. It's not just about finding a purpose, it's about creating purpose in even those smaller moments. So, how do you do that? In this presentation, we'll discuss how. 1. Look for the wow. We do a ton of things every day that we don't find particularly interesting or particularly exciting. We go through the motions at work. We tidy the house. We speak to people who don't really interest us. But all those things can be exciting and interesting. It's just a matter of finding why, of asking the right questions, and of looking at it in a different way. Everything is fascinating to someone. 2. Remember why. When you are cleaning the house or getting up to go to work every single day, remember why you do it. Keep your eye on the prize, whether that is keeping your family safe and fed or working toward a more beautiful home. 3. Stop to notice. Don't just run through life in a rush. Don't wish away your years. Spend some time to enjoy what's happening around you right now. Be grateful for what you have. 4. Share. One of the most important ways to create more meaning in your life is simply to share it with someone. That will often mean finding a romantic partner you can share your whole life with. But it can also just mean building more meaningful friendships. It might mean just involving your friends in those moments a little more. Tell them about your big day. Share photos. 5. Leave something behind. Always remember what you're doing that will affect others. Moreover, ask what you're doing that will affect others long after you're gone. One of the reasons that life can sometimes seem pointless is that it is transient, temporary. When you leave something lasting, whether that is inheritance or it is a work of art, this can help you to feel much surer about what you've accomplished and that you spent your time on this earth well. 7 ways to find meaning in life, 1 for each day of the week. Finding meaning and purpose in life is not something you do once. This should be something that you do every day, and that you are constantly keeping in your mind. You need to inject every day with a fresh sense of wonder, importance, and meaning. Let's discuss 7 ways you can do that, 1 for each day of the week. 1. Go somewhere new. If you never leave the confines of your home, if you rarely step outside of the office, then you will find that you can begin to develop cabin fever. You can feel very claustrophobic and as though you aren't progressing. Go somewhere new, and it can be a great way to reset your mind. 2. Set a new goal. Having goals gives you a drive and a purpose. You don't have to limit yourself to just one goal. Why not have one goal for your career, one for your health, and one for your finances? 3. Achieve something. Set yourself some smaller goals, and that way you can try to achieve something meaningful every day. This is a great way to get that sense of forward momentum and progression. 4. Have a deep conversation. One of the best ways to feel as though your life has meaning is to have a truly deep conversation. That's the kind of conversation where you really connect with someone and where you feel as though you have shared deep emotions. 5. Try something new. Just as you can make life feel more meaningful by visiting new locations, you can do the same by trying new things too. This fills your days, which in turn makes you feel as though you have lived a longer and fuller life. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It could just mean trying a new dish. 6. Help someone. When we help someone, it makes us feel much better about ourselves. This is because it triggers a reaction called the helper's high, and because we know that we've made an impact outside of our bubble. 7. Take stock. You can have the most exciting and meaningful life in the world, but if you don't stop to reflect on that occasionally, it won't seem that way. So make sure to occasionally stop and smell the roses. Remind yourself of everything you've already accomplished, all the people who love you, and all the amazing things you do every day. Now that's what I call a good week. 7 ways to prioritize to find meaning in your life. Life can sometimes feel as though you're just going through the motions. Sometimes it can feel like it's just one long string of stressful events happening one after another. A long list of things you need to do, whether that's taking out the trash or wiping the countertops in the kitchen. This isn't exactly a good way to feel passionate and excited for life. So how do you rediscover that passion? Often, it's just about changing your priorities, and we'll see how you can do that in this presentation. 1. Flip it on its head. Many of the questions we ask ourselves and the decisions we make are motivated by the wrong things. We often find ourselves with our priorities slightly wrong, which is simply a result of us putting the things that cause us stress first. In other words, we worry about money, worry about time, and worry about commitments. Thus, we end up with little time to spend on the things that really do matter. 2. Make time. And time really is the operative word here. Most of us are too pushed for time to do the things that we really should be to feel happy. Therefore, to reprioritize, you need to make that time again. 3. Cancel things that don't matter. So how do you make time? Simple, by reorganizing what really matters and by removing the things that don't. That might even mean changing jobs. 4. Try lifestyle design. In lifestyle design, we don't fit our lifestyle in around our career commitments and our living arrangements. Instead, we do the opposite, and we make sure that our career and our job work with the lifestyle we want. 5. Explain to others. Not everyone will necessarily understand what you're doing. If you're in a relationship, then you'll need to be on the same page as you reassess your lifestyle. 6. Ask where you want to be. Picture your perfect life in 10 years from now. What does it look like? Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? 7. Vision, not goal. To do this, you need to have a vision rather than a goal. That means you have a picture or an idea rather than a concrete point you want to reach. When you think in this way, it makes it much easier to get the cohesive life plan that will really make you happy. 10 quick tips to develop meaning by helping others. Want to give your life more meaning? Want to feel as though the things you do have a real purpose and impact? The secret is to dedicate your life to helping others. Humans are social animals. We have evolved to feel good when we do things for others. That's why altruistic acts trigger what is known as the helper's high and make us feel positive about who we are. In fact, this has been likened to the kind of euphoria we feel when on a roller coaster. Helping others is also important because it means we're leaving something lasting. We're having an impact that is greater than just affecting us. So what are some of the quick and easy ways you can gain more meaning in your life by helping others? 1. Small things count. Open doors and do little favors. They add up. 2. Smile. It's free and it makes everyone feel better. 3. Ignore the urge to be selfish. Did you know that tiredness makes us more selfish? Try to overcome this, though, and you'll feel much better. 4. Don't take no for an answer. When you ask someone if they'd like a lift to the station and they say no, you have two options: accept or go ahead anyway. Guess which one will make you feel better about yourself in the long term. 5. Let others help you. Just as you get a kick out of helping others, let them help you, too. 6. Spoil your loved ones. Random acts of kindness for strangers make you feel great. Spoiling the ones you love makes you feel even better. 7. Expect nothing back. Doing something nice for someone isn't about expecting something back or about getting adulation. Better yet, you should do it without telling anyone. 8. Join a charity. If you want to do something truly impactful, try joining a charity. 9. Don't be cruel. Sometimes being kind just means not being cruel. Don't tease that person. Don't be selfish. You can either have a good impact in this world or a bad one. Which would you prefer? 10. Donate. Donating is an easy way to do something good. Why not set up a standing order for your favorite charity? 10 secrets to identifying your purpose in life. When you finally discover your life's purpose, your true passion, life has a way of just opening up and making sense. You feel more confident, you feel more excited and engaged for the work you do, and you become the best and most productive version of yourself. The only problem is getting there. In this presentation, we'll discover 10 methods you can use that will work effectively. 1. Listen to yourself. The first thing to do when you try to find your calling is to forget what others think, forget what others expect of you, and even forget what you think you want. Look for the joy. 2. There are no bad ideas. With that in mind, it's important that you don't limit your options by ruling out certain things. There are no bad ideas here, so spitball, and you may just stumble upon something great. 3. Look to your heroes. Look at your role models and heroes. What can you learn from them? 4. Ask others. While you shouldn't let others dictate to you your life's purpose, that is not to say that other people can't help. Ask friends and relatives what they think you're best at. 5. Go with the flow. Sometimes life seems to pull you in one direction. Sometimes it's best to resist and to look at what you really want instead of letting life happen. But in other cases, just open your ears and listen to what it is that circumstance is telling you. 6. Remember. Think back to the last time you felt truly happy or truly passionate. What were you doing? What were you working toward? This may well be a clue. 7. Make a mood board. Or just make a list. Either way, put all the things down that you love doing and then ask what those things have in common. 8. Write your mission statement. A mission statement is a statement of intent, not so much a goal, but a statement of your purpose and what you're all about. Imagine writing the ultimate about me blurb. 9. Find the why. The important thing here is not to ask what you want to do or how you want to do it. Instead, ask why you want to do it. What is it about that thing that appeals to you? 10. Take off the pressure. The worst thing you can do is to put pressure on yourself to find the answer. Relax, and it is more likely to come. How to create actionable intelligence regarding your true purpose in life. Actionable intelligence is a term that is used in warfare, in surveillance, and in business. It simply means that you have information that is actionable. When an organization is tracking a fugitive, they need to find out the fugitive's location. They might have ideas as to where this could be. They might even have had some feedback from people who have seen them. But it's not until they have eyes on and a confirmed sighting that they can move their troops in. That's actionable intelligence. And this is how you need to think when you are approaching your goals and your life purpose. Because we all get feelings from time to time. We all get ideas of what we'd like to be. Every now and then, we have a complete turnaround and decide we want to do something altogether different. But these are not examples of actionable intelligence. These are just hunches, notions, ideas. And thus, they don't lead to any real change. So the question is, how do you go from these ideas to actionable intelligence? When do you decide to change jobs? When do you invest in all the equipment you need for that new hobby? Ultimately, it comes down to knowing what you want and being certain, but it also means giving up the risk. Because knowing your passion and going after the things that will make you happiest always means taking a risk. It usually means quitting your job. It might mean alienating friends, or it might mean putting all your eggs in one basket. And the key is to be so excited and so passionate for what you want in life that you are willing to take that risk. And that is how you really know if you found your purpose. If you weren't going to get paid, would you be happy to do this for the rest of your life? Would you be happy to do this and risk being poor? Would you rather do this thing for the rest of your life and never find conventional success? If so, then you have found your calling. And now, of course, you will still need to find money and eat and feed your family. But who said that your passion and your job had to be one and the same? The most important part is finding that purpose. The rest is up to you. How to discover your one true purpose. What is your one true purpose? Your one true calling? If you can't answer this question, then there is a good chance that you aren't living life to its absolute fullest. There's a good chance that you maybe feel a little lost, that sometimes you feel as though you're just going through the motions, or that you aren't fully engaged with what you're doing. When we find our true purpose, we come alive. We feel we have a direction, and our enthusiasm and passion is magnetic and engaging for everyone else to see and feel. But how do you find it? There are a few things we can do to find our purpose, but the key is to follow your emotions and your gut. Ask yourself this: if you could be doing anything right now, what would it be? For some of us, that answer might come quickly. Maybe you'd be working out at the gym. Maybe you'd be playing computer games. The thing about a calling or a purpose is that it doesn't have to be a typical career. It doesn't have to be something that your grandma would approve of. There is no right or wrong here. Rather, to find your purpose, you are going to look into what makes you come alive. And you're not going to fight that reality. It doesn't matter what your purpose is. It's just a matter of finding a way to make that work for you. But what if you don't have one thing you want to do? What if you love doing lots of things? How do you decide what your purpose is then? Well, one tip is to try looking at the common threads between all those things you love doing. What do they have in common? What is it about them that you love? Likewise, think about the specifics. What specifically were you doing when you were last happiest? What game would you be playing in particular? What workout? Often, it won't be immediately obvious. Often, it will take time and effort to figure out exactly what it is about these things that you love. And often, it will take time for you to learn what your approach is to them, for you to turn that into a job, for you to make it work for you as a part of your life. How to identify your purpose by reaching your goals. When do you feel accomplished? The simple answer is probably whenever you achieve a goal you set for yourself. It's hard not to feel a buzz of satisfaction, a sense of achievement when you tick something off a list, or when you manage to do something you didn't think you could. This is why the more rewarding careers are the ones that challenge us, and it's why writing to-do lists is so satisfying. In fact, that should be one of the first tips you learn from this presentation. Use to-do lists. A day of dull chores becomes much more fulfilling when you are ticking off items on a list. When it comes to your bigger goals, though, things get a little more tricky. Now you need to focus on things that will take you closer to what you really want to achieve in life. And knowing what that is can often be a struggle. So to get around this, try to learn to write your goals in the right way. When it comes to your life's purpose, it's more useful to have a vision than a goal. A vision is an image, a picture, or a sense of what you want life to be like. It's what you want to create for yourself. On the other hand, a goal is something concrete, simple, and straightforward that you either achieve or you don't. Now, I want you to think of your vision as being the purpose, and the goals as being the stepping stones. These are the smaller tasks that you can tick off. And each time you do, you'll feel a little pang of success, and a lot more meaning in your life and in that day. Not only that, but this can help you to identify your purpose, because it will give you an idea as to whether this is a path you want to continue along. So set aside some time to create this roadmap. Visualize what you want to achieve. Know your end goal. Now ask, what is the small thing you can do every single day in order to make sure that you drive yourself there? What are the key points along the way that will help you to build toward that ultimate objective? And one more thing. When asking what you should do next, always answer with whatever will take you one step closer to that next goalpost.